This is Irontrader. It is Thursday morning. So we're going to take a look here at Bitcoin, gold, silver, crude oil, natural gas, and we'll take a look at the NQ, which is ripping up to 96. Now, Meta had really good numbers yesterday, and the stock is just smoking up higher. Microsoft, their numbers are smoking up higher. Now, after a bell here today, we have Apple and Amazon, and I'm not expecting anything different. Now, the stock that you want to get going into is NVIDIA. Now, remember, their earnings aren't coming out here until August 27th, so you got plenty of room to run. It looks like it's carrying up. It closed out at 179, and you're already up to about 182, 183 so far. Okay, this video is for information purposes only, not a recommendation to buy, sell, stock about the ETF. Please like, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Here we have Bitcoin daily and your weekly chart. Now you can see here we just had this sideways action, and yesterday we made this low all the way down here at 116,460. But you notice that we're holding this 116,334. That's the 21 SMA. So this box is still very much intact. Okay, 121,255 is the top of the box, and then we want to look at the bottom there at 115,635, and this is basically what we're trading. But now as this 21 day is moving up, that's going to provide very good support level. Yesterday, after that Fed meeting, Bitcoin was coming off, but that was a buying opportunity, what I see now with the BITX, because what I do is I put these charts side by side, your Bitcoin and the BITX side by side, and then what I do is I just watch and see if this holds that 21 day. If it does, that's when I start buying into the BITX again. So right now here we're looking very good. Now the 8 day looks like it wants to do a little curl up here, so we got to see how this is going to shake out. Upside, what we're watching is today's high. We had a high of 119,785. Yesterday we had a high of 119,740 level. Okay, see that? Very nice. So we got a little bit higher high going on here. Now the next level we're going to be looking at is going to be right there at 120, 415, and we come up top of this candle 125.40, and then we're going to go to that retest at 121,255 level. And I know this is I say the same thing every morning that we're just trading this box, but reality that's what it is. I mean, I can tell you something, I could make something up, but I don't think that's going to work. Okay, so what we're looking for is just bottom line is the top of this candle. You have to close above it, then we can retest at 123,615. But it looks like what Bitcoin is doing is trading almost like with the Nasdaq. The Nasdaq was start selling off after the Fed meeting, and after that Fed meeting came in and the earnings kind of came up, Bitcoin started rallying up also. So kind of like a side-by-side action. Now, we had this series of lower highs and lower lows kind of a situation, but now so far we have this, maybe we can reverse this candle because what we're holding is that 21 SMA. Now, downside, you want to watch this 118,734. That's going to be very key. If we lose that, we can come down to the bottom of that candle at 117,305. But realistically, what you're looking for is that 116,336. As long as we're holding this 21 day, we're looking very good. Now, on the RSI, you're only sitting at 60. That's that can plenty room to run to the upside. The green is below your red, but it's almost like a sideways action. So everything is really looking very good. But again, we just have consolidation. So just remember that. Just like we had here and we had over there, and we had a big consolidation kind of a situation. But once you break out of that, look how nice it rallies on up. Now, you always got to remember when you have the retest here, 123,615. If it gets up into the area, we have to watch out what the reaction is going to be. Now, a lot of times when it does, it'll come right up like on a series like this, and then it comes right on down. So you got to be very careful. The key is to close above that 123,615, and you'll see the breakout. Okay, and then the next level is going to be 125,500. Then you could rally all the way up to that 130 level off of this inverse head and shoulders pattern that's going on here. Now, when you watch the weekly chart, now you can see what we're going on here. Yes, we have a kind of like an indecision candle here so far, but we have today and we have tomorrow situation. But the key is we're holding that 8 day at 112,616 or 661 level, and we're holding this key level at 112,345. That's going to be very critical on a closing basis for Friday. You can see how strong the RSI is, and the MACD, the green is over your red, shows momentum there to the upside. But really, look at this chart. This is a very bullish chart. Bottom left, upper right. Very good, unless you start losing that 8 day, and then you come down to here and come down. But realistically, you can come all the way down here to that 50 day, and this is still would be a very bullish chart. Now, So today, this is what we're watching. Downside, watch that 8-day, watch that 21-day. Upside, we're going to be following his candles. This is next, 124.15. And then here's the big boy at 121.255 level. Crack above that, there's going to be your target at 123.615. Let's look at gold and silver here. Here we have gold, and here we have silver. I'll bigger up a little bit for you. All right. We had that downtrending situation, popped up, and this could not hold this. This is that key level at 289. So I always say, look to the left of the chart, and that's what we had right here at that 33.89 level. We just could not get through it. We came up to it, but that's going to be your resistance levels there on the upside. Now, you can see today so far we have an inside day, and all is the high and low is inside the previous day. Yesterday, we had that big-ass red candle, but again, we didn't put no new low or anything in. So it rallied up, and then where did it go? Went right into that 50-day, 21-day, and then that 8-day is what stopped it right there. See that? See? 33.66 stopped it dead cold. So what you really have to do, and now we are back right down here where that 50-day, 33.55, and that 21-day is at 33.55. So we have to get above that. You can see where the price is right below that. Then we can get up to this 33.66 level. That's going to be key. If we can, we're going to retest this 389 level, but you have to get above that. That's the key. Right now, we hit it right there. That's where we set the mark, and then we went into it again. We went into it again, and nothing. It can't get through. But if it does get through, then we're going to be looking top of there at 34.01, and then 34.16, your next rate resistance, 34.47, and then you retest at 34.51. And when we have to see what the reaction is once you get there. Next level, if you break through, 34.68, 34.76. Now, if you keep right on going, if this happens to rally up, well, then we have 35.09. But what we really have to do, it has to have a catalyst, but you can see the sideways action. Okay, you can just see that sideways action going on here in the old gold. So for me, I have to have a close above that 33.89. Then I would jump into the GLD and take it higher. Now, actual gold traders, they can do options, and you can trade this in between here, which is the same thing which I do. I don't trade options, but I do like on crude oil and natural gas and orders like that. But I'm not really like a big gold trader. However, I do jump into it when it is rolling. Now, we had a really, really nice run. That GLD paid off big time. Okay, really, really big time. So that's would be how I'm going to be trading this. I'll be looking for that 33.89, and then I'll jump in and then maybe retest that 34.51. But right now we have sideways action. You have to get through that and close above that 33.55 and above that 33.66 level, that 8-day simple moving average. RSI here, not telling us either way. It could go either way. Same way with here with your MACD. Now silver, on the other hand, ooh, look at silver. Ooh, look at this. Now, we were holding that 21-day, so I said respect it, came on down, and then we've had almost like a bear flag. Well, not almost, it was like a bear flag situation. Then when that broke through yesterday, and now look at happened here today, all the way down to that 50 SMA, and now it's holding that 50-day. That's what's going to be the key, is 36.48. If not, you can go to the retest at 36.05, and then we just bring this level right across. Your next level is going to be 35.58 level. Then we'll come down to the bottom of that candle at 35.19. Then we're going to head for that 100-day at 34.75, 200-day at 33.26. You can see right here, I've been pointing out negative divergence, sell-off. Okay, negative divergence. Okay, sell off. Now, we never know how hard it's going to go. It was holding the 21-day, but when you see that big candle going down, just like we had the opposite of this. Okay, see, we have the big pole, and then we had the two little candles. That's a bull flag, then popped up. This here, bear flag, just the opposite. Now, if you want to learn about candlesticks here or chart pattern, just go on my playlist. I got a whole thing for you right there at your convenience. So, we had this downtrend, but now again, we're holding this 50 days. So this is going to be very key on a closing basis. And that's what we have to watch. Now, again, if this could hold this and then reverse, this would be a nice trade on the SLV to come up from the 50-day back to that 21-day. Okay, that would be, and possibly 8-day. But right now, that's not what we have. We have to be a little bit careful because this could go lower. So just use the price channels, 36.05. Bring the other one over right there, 35.58. Next one, okay. 35.19 level, and then we have your 100-day. Now, upside here, what we're watching is yesterday's low. That's 36.80. Then we'll look at today's high, 37.28. And then realistically, we're looking for that 38.03. There's your 21-day, and then that 8-day above it at 38.39. Right now, we just have we're just selling off. Now, this is nowhere near oversold. Either is this. Now, see, this was a tell. See, when you have a negative divergence, but you got to look to the past. You had negative divergence and it only sold down to the 21 day. Once you lose that 21 day, this negative divergence is playing out big time, but we're not oversold. You're only sitting at 40. That can go way, way down. Okay. Another red flag is when you have that green cross over the red. See how it crossed over here, and then what we had is a sell-off. So we had this. Boom. See how that crossed over? That's another red flag. So always look at any kind of a tails, anything that'll give you that edge. But right now, today, watch that 50-day on a closing basis. That's going to be the key. We start losing that, then we take the price channels down. We can maybe even hit that 100-day simple moving average. Okay, let's take a look here at crude oil and natural gas. Here we have the crude oil. Now, we had a very, very nice rally up off of this 100 SMA. So this 100 SMA was very, very key. See how strong that was? Once we broke through it, then it came down, and look how nice this held all the way on down. Then we had this nice big rally all the way up. We were looking for the top of that candle at 69.65. We got as high as 69.76. Yesterday, we popped above it, but you notice that we went outside this price channel. Okay, so that's what we're looking for, went outside that price channel. Now, today so far, we have an inside day. So on the upside, what we're really watching is yesterday's high. That's 70.51. We get above that, we're going to look right to the bottom of this candle at 71.33, and then we're going to look at that bottom of that candle at 72.32. That's your next area of resistance. Then we come up to the top there at 73.90, and then we have 74.27. Then we come all the way up top to that candle at 75.74 level. Okay, very, very nice. Now, we also have a closing number there of 74. So as we come up here, 74.27, this 74 level is going to be very, very strong. So if it does get up in that area, see how we have a rate going on here? You have 73.90, 74.27 was the high, and then we had that closing number at 74.04. So this 74 level is going to be very, very strong if it does gets up into that area. Now, we don't know what's going to happen, so we got to see how that's going to shake out. Now, on the downside, what we're doing is we're watching today's low at that 69.35 level. Then we're going to be watching yesterday's low at 68.45. But the key is going to be right here is going to be that 68.06. That is your 200-day. And then we have your 67.26, which is your 8-day and your 21-day. And then we have 50-day, 66.23. And then we have the old strong 100 at 65.08. The key to this whole pattern is holding this 64 level. That's the bottom of this bear flag situation. Now, as long as you hold that, you're in very, very good shape. So we got to see how this all going to shake out. Now, remember, on natural gas, the EIA report will be out today at 10:30. Oil, we got to see how this all trades out, but maybe have a little correction. But if it does hold that 200-day, then you can jump right back in. So how I trade this is if it comes down and holds that 200-day, then I would take a long and take it right back up again. Or I would buy on strength. Okay, if we close above that 70.51 level, then jump right back into the crude oil, because then the next target is going to be the bottom of that 71.33, that 72.32, and then that 74 level. So you can buy on strength. You can also buy on weakness. Now, if we lose that 200-day, then we're going to come right down to that 8-day and 21-day, possible 50-day situation. So we got to be very, very careful on what we're doing here. Okay. Now, RSI, well, we're coming over here. It doesn't look too bad. 59, that can go right back up again. The green is still over your red, so actually this is looking very, very bullish, but let's just see how this is all going to shake out. Okay, natural gas. Well, we're holding. Okay, we are holding. 298. Came all the way down. This was the retest at 298. We have 298. Now, if we start losing that 298, then we just look to the left of the chart here. Your next level is going to be 285. 286, that level right there. Let's see here. Oh. Now, upside, we're watching today's high, 304, but realistically, we're watching that 309. That's going to be very, very crucial. Okay, 309 level, that's that 8-day. We get above that, and we can come right to the top of that candle at 3.18. And then we'll be looking for 3.29. There's your 21-day. And then we have 3.46, your 50-day, 200-day. And then we have your 100-day. But we are in a downtrend situation. High, lower high, lower high, lower high. Downtrending situation. We have to break that. The only way to break that is you got to get back above the top of this tweezer top at that 3.62. then you can break that downtrend and we take it up. But again, we got to see. Seasonality says we are going to go sideways, but then we start venturing right on up, kind of a situation. Okay, so let's just see how this is going to shake out here. So don't have any opinion. On the downside, this is what you want to watch, is that 298. If not, you're going to go ahead test that 286 level. That will be next. Again, let me just show you. We start losing this level right there. We can come all the way down to 187. But right now here, we're looking pretty good. Now, the EU, T-Man made a deal with the EU to buy energy of $750 billion in 3 years. Now, that's not just oil. That's oil, LNG. That's everything that what the U.S. has. I don't know if they can be able to accomplish that. But again, that could take natural gas much higher. So just be very, very patient with it. Right now, we're holding this price channel at 298. So that's what we're trading for on the downside. And on the upside, we're trading against that 309. You get above that, we have that 329. Let's take a look here at the NQ. Here we have the NQ, which is basically the futures of the Nasdaq. And you can see how we're just making these new highs, 23,845. And we could go to 24,000, and you could go, now if we have good numbers on Apple and Amazon, and then we have NVIDIA coming up here on the 27th of August, you can send that, easy, 24,000, 24,500, 25. We don't know. We're in the no man's land. But again, this never lasts. See how strong this is. But the numbers have been really coming in good. You're growing. Your economy's growing at 3%. Your unemployment rate is down. I don't know. You got a good roll going here. Very, very good roll. But on the downside, what you really want to watch is this 23,689. That is your top of your price channel. We lose that. You have 23,480, your 8-day, your 21-day, and then we have your 50-day rate below that. But right now, we'll just keep on melting right on up. There's really not much I can show you here, except we just have that big, big melt up. But eventually, this will sell off. This will correct, and probably after the earnings seasons. Now, when you look at a seasonality chart, I posted them yesterday at midday trading. So take a look at that. That shows you I had the Dow, the S&P, the Nasdaq, crude oil, and natural gas. And it really shows that the month end of really August, September, and October, you have to be very, very careful in that situation. Now, you do get a nice rally a lot of times in September, but watch that time frame for a sell-off, because I think what you do is you're going to get yourself a nice, good buying opportunity and take it long into the end of the year. That's how it's looking. All righty then. I will be back here at midday trading. We'll take a look at some stocks. Trade what's in front of you, not what you want.